Hi, everybody. It's Pastor Evan, and we are in Acts chapter 23 today. I've so enjoyed walking through the book of Acts with the church as we have looked at these earliest believers and followers of Jesus as they set out into the unknown of starting this new organization, this new movement, this new way called the Church of Jesus. And in doing so, they changed the course of human history. But it's not without obstacles, it's not without hardship. All along the way, people are coming against them. They're trying to stop them. They're trying to shut up their message. And yet the Holy Spirit moves so powerfully in the lives and through the words of these first believers that it can't be stopped. And over the course of a few short years, this movement called the church explodes across the world. And here we are, all these millennia later, still believing in the same Jesus, still reading his words, and still facing down hardships with faith. I'm inspired as I read these stories of Paul and Peter and Barnabas and Silas as they walked out their faith in the face of great odds. No hardship that we face is too great for the gospel of Jesus to be stopped. It is unstoppable. It is beautiful, and it has turned the world upside down, and it will continue to do so. In chapter 23, the narrative continues as Paul is facing this council. Everywhere he goes, it seems people are opposed to his message and opposed to him personally. Um, in this scene in Acts 23, it gets so bad for Paul that it says more than 40 men get together and they commit to one another that they won't eat. They take an oath. It says that they won't eat again until they have killed Paul. That's how intense the opposition has gotten, not just to the way of Jesus in general, but very specifically against the Apostle Paul for what he has done in preaching the good news of Jesus. By chapter 23, I think probably some of the exhilaration of and the excitement from the day of Pentecost has probably faded. Some of that excitement that they probably had soon after the news of the resurrection of Jesus, many of them who witnessed appearances by Jesus after his death, crucifixion, and resurrection, that exhilaration probably had worn off by now. Years have gone by, and the early believers have faced incredible hardship and persecution. People have died. People have been killed for their faith. And so what started out as this exciting new thing now has given way to the day in, day out, sometimes monotonous life of simply living for Jesus. And yes, some days there are miracles. Some days there are amazing signs and wonders from the Holy Spirit, but many days it's just living life. You know, when we begin a new project, especially around the house, uh, the idea of it can be more exciting than the completion of it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you first start something, there's this excitement of how well the project can go, and then you get, halfway through and the yard's torn up, or the insulation is all exposed, and you're thinking, my goodness, what have I done? What have I started? And it's in those moments that you start to question, like, why did we even start this thing? And I wonder about that with the early church, if they came to a point where many of these early leaders and apostles were saying, man, I hope it's worth it. I hope it's worth it for what we're going through now. I hope it's worth it. And the truth is, we see time and time again, they come to the conclusion that yes, in fact, the gospel of Jesus is worth it. It's worth every hardship. It's worth every long stay in prison. It's worth the monotony and the tediousness of just living life, trying to make it day by day. They went through all of this, and to the end of their lives, most of them, they were so convinced by the value of following Jesus and the message of the good news that they would give everything, both in death and also in their lives. They would give everything for his sake. I'm inspired to have that kind of faith, not just a faith of convenience, not just a belief in Jesus that comes to me by tradition or upbringing or passed down from generation to generation. That's all wonderful and good. I want a faith that is so deep in my spirit that no hardship is too great for the sake of what I believe in Jesus. Um, we have a connection, I think, to the early church. In every time that we face hardship or trouble, not that we compare it to the book of Acts, but we know that if they went through whatever they went through, if they faced down hardship, surely we can too, no matter what it is. I hope you're encouraged today. I hope you're inspired to let the faith that you have in Jesus grow deep in your souls and your spirits as we look forward to the Holy Spirit every day coming through and showing himself in our lives. God bless you. We love you. We'll see you soon.